go.
Karen.
Nice to meet you, Karen.
Welcome everyone to the Deakin University match of the round here in the AFNL Women's Competition. It is round 8 and we're down here at Mulgrave Reserve for a big Division 3 clash between the Eastern Devils and Mooroolbark. My name's John Evan and I'm joined by the media manager of the AFNL, Ryan Long, and we've got a very special guest straight up, and she said there's a first time for everything. Her name's Georgina Beach, the captain of the Division 3 Devils side. How are you, GB? It's great to have you.
Great, thanks. Thank you very much for having me.
So 1v2, you've played this team before. What are your takings from that game and what are you bringing into this one?
So obviously we've got a lot of respect for Mooroolbark. You know, they've come up from Division 4 as premiers. We watched them in their first few rounds do really well against other teams. We're really impressed by their ball movement. They had a lot of run, and I know they've got a few juniors that have come up into the seniors this year, and I was really impressed with how they've gone as well. But yeah, we like their game style. They're a good team.
Coming into this game, you've got a few new players who are brand new to the game. How did they, I guess, come across the Devs, and I guess, what are they like?
Yeah, so we're really lucky. We've got J and T having their first games today. They're pretty excited. So just friends of friends connections, I suppose. But, you know, it's always nice to have new people around the club, and we just love people who are excited to play footy, so we're glad to have them.
Georgina, thanks for joining us this morning. It's great to be out here at Mulgrave Reserve, and for yourself and the season ahead, just the 2 losses and a pretty strong start to another season and sitting in second position at the mid-season bye. How have you seen the team's work in the first 7 weeks and where you're sitting? Are you happy with the way everything's going?
Yeah, I think I am pretty happy. I mean, you know, to be second halfway through the season, you know, we're happy, and we are, you know, second to Mooroolbark, who are a great team. You know, it's been a little bit different for us, this team. We had a couple of people that couldn't continue on with footy this year from last year's team. Obviously, we're a club that's got 2 teams, so we're really proud of our players that also moved up into the senior ranks. They've done really well. But we've definitely been impacted by injury this season. We've lost a few of our key players who we're hoping to regain later in the season, and then there's been a couple of season-ending injuries, unfortunately, for some players too.
Yeah. How difficult is that, particularly for a reserve side where, you know, numbers are very hard to come by as it is, to lose some players and to be able to, how do you sort of work through that and just make sure you've got players coming through and being able to field a side each week?
Well, you know, we've got a pretty amazing coaching panel, and we do really focus on the one club mentality, not, you know, 2 separate teams. So for the reserves, yes, it can be a bit tricky sometimes having some, you know, people coming in and out of the team, but that's reserves football, and we've been, you know, managing that pretty well, and really lucky to have some great new recruits joining us.
Absolutely. And for the club itself, the culture must be fantastic down here. Since you've joined the league, it's been the best club in the league in terms of results. 4 grand finals from 4, and 2 premierships in the Premier Division. What's it like just on a Saturday down here? Everyone seems to get along very, very nicely, and the culture looks great.
Yeah, we do pride ourselves on Devil's culture, as we call it, and I think the great thing is everyone puts in, so everybody's got a role on game day, on home games. You'll see later today our seniors will be here watching, and when the reserves are off, they stay behind and watch the seniors play as well. So it's just really about getting behind everyone on the team. It's an expectation that, you know, there's no kind of social groups or anything like that. It's just all in, everyone's in, and we're all buying into our Devils culture. Absolutely.
And speaking of putting in, it must be so great to have Ellie Gathercole in the reserves team, otherwise known as Butch, to the playing group, obviously. But, you know, in terms of having that power in defence, it must be just great for the other defenders to learn the craft as well.
Yeah, so Butch obviously usually plays in the seniors, but she's made a return partway through the season through the reserves. I think she's had 2 best on performances already, but she's actually been playing in the midfield, which is something a little bit different, but she's just got a lot of class, a lot of poise around the ball, and so we have really enjoyed having that experience.
Well, GB, it's been great to chat with you. All the best for today, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much, team.
Thanks for coming down.
So Georgina Beach there, the captain of the Eastern Devils in her 7th season. She's been around the club a fairly long time, ever since 2017, and it's great to have access to the players. And someone who we also have great access to from the Mooroolbark Football Club is Karen Ralph.
Hello guys, how you going?
This might be your first time back at Mulgrave since the old Sharkies days, is that right?
It is. The upgrade is fantastic. It's a great facility, the ground's looking fantastic, it's a beautiful day, like, you know, can't hope for anything more really in a game of footy.
Yeah, absolutely, and you must be pretty happy with the way the side's going at the moment, sitting on top of the ladder, just the one loss for the season. And coming up a division as well, into Division 3, the transition seems to have gone very smoothly.
Yeah, look, we managed to keep a really core group of girls from last year, and I think the sort of the game plan and the style of footy we want to play has then been able to progress with those group of girls. And then we've got a bunch of under-18s that have come through that have probably played footy longer than most of the senior girls as well. And so they've come through and they've been able to kind of find their space, you know, find their place in the team really easily. So, yeah, we're really pleased.
Fantastic. And looking at the side, I think there was about maybe 9 today premiership players from last season. So a lot of the rest of the list is that the under-18s that have come through and those younger players who will probably be the future of the Mooroolbark Football Club?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we've done a few training sessions recently with our under-18s that are coming through as well. So that's been really positive, you know, just sort of seeing the future of the club. We've only got one team, obviously. It'd be great to build that because we know if you have 2 teams, it builds competition and then everyone gets better. So that's sort of where we're wanting to head. But this year's really just, I think, a year to consolidate. And like I said, we've been pretty happy with how things have progressed.
We've been fortunate to have Mooroolbark a couple of times in the match of the round, but for me, myself, it's my first time watching, and I was looking through the team list, and a name that brings a lot of intrigue is Emma Beer. She featured in the Team of the Week last week, and I understand that you've played a bit of cricket with her. Is that right?
I have. Emma is, you know, who I would consider just an athlete. You know, she plays soccer, she plays netball, she plays cricket. She came to footy and does that pretty well as well. Look, you'll notice her kicking style is probably more of a soccer type player. But what she does for us is she just reads the ball exceptionally well. So, yeah, I have known Emma for quite a few years now, and I just loved it when she came across.
And speaking of cricketers, you've also got Geordie Dovalar, who's just a great have for this side. Obviously, she's played footy for a while, but, you know, in terms of leadership qualities, what does she bring to this incredible team?
Geordie is just super calm. She does all the hard things. Geordie's one of those people that she would never expect anyone to do anything that she wouldn't put her hand up to do herself. So, you know, if she's not leading by words, she's leading by actions, and if she's not leading by action, she leads by words. So, and she's just got this really great ability to, you know, one of the hardest things about leadership is not focusing on your own game and being able to focus on the team as well. And she's got a really good balance of being able to do both of those things really well. So, yeah, she's just blessed to have Geordie.
Absolutely. And a look at the opposition today, the Eastern Devils had a very good win against them last time, and obviously I think both sides have had plenty of changes since that game, so it'll be a different look today. But what have you learnt about them as probably one of the, obviously, very strong depth at the club and been one of the benchmarks in this division in the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, oh look, they're coached well, they've got good structures, they're disciplined, they've got good skills. I think one of the things that they have better than us is that kind of kicking skill, so that's something that we're developing. I have the utmost respect for the Devils. Obviously played against them for about 20 years or something now. I love playing them. It's a respectful game of footy as well, which I find, and our girls commented on that after we played. There were times they said, we got a huge bump, and then they helped pick me up, you know. So I just love the way the Devils go about the game, and, you know, we're expecting a tough game today. The result last time wasn't indicative of I think, the game and how that was played either. So, yeah, we're expecting a really tight one today as well.
Well, it's certainly going to be a great 80 minutes of football. It's great to chat to you again, Karen. All the best for today.
Thank you so much, guys. Looking forward to it.
Thanks for coming down. Appreciate it.
So Karen Ralph, the coach of the Mooroolbark Football Club, joining us. And, I mean, I've obviously had a bit to do with Karen over the years. She was obviously the senior coach of the St Kilda Sharks, and I was team manager of a particular team at the time. But
St Kilda Sharks, were you?
No. You just had to ruin that, didn't you? No. Anyway, for those just joining us, hello and welcome to the match of the round, thanks to the Deakin University. And obviously it's a lovely, lovely day here. We do have about 10 minutes to go before the game. Let's have a look at the teams briefly. And last night the Devs, they made a few changes, a few ins. They brought in Gemma Owen, who's playing her first game from injury. You can't really miss her. She's donning the helmet as always, and look, that's a great addition for the Devs, isn't it, Ryan?
Oh, it certainly is. And having a look at the lineup, getting those players in for the first game in Hopkins and Scalzo, that's great to see. And particularly, as we said, for a reserves team, it is difficult when injuries do start to build up, because you're already sort of at that fine line of whether you can get a full side up with a bench and everything. And we've seen sides struggle with that. Other teams in Division 4 with a second side have been able to have players play both games. The Devils have done that before with Hayley Thompson, so it does make it a little bit more difficult. But it's great to see that they're still able to get more players in and compete in a very important game today.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did speak to Georgina Beach earlier this morning, and I note that she's a keen social basketballer, and I think it's great how she's managing to find the odd player through her team. Obviously, she plays with alongside Cass Stevens during the season, but it's pretty great how sport just brings everyone together. I mean, especially in the case with Emma Beer and Karen Ralph.
Yeah, certainly right. It's a good point there. But on Mooroolbark, just to speak about them a little bit.
Indeed, let's do that.
Probably what surprised me just going through the team list is how much change there has been from just last season.
Yeah.
And as I think we said, 8 or 9 players in the premiership side last year that are playing out here today, but there are a lot of young players that have come from that under-18 side into the senior lineup, and that's great to see, because that doesn't just help you out this year for a side that's in premiership contention. That will set you up for the future, particularly if they go up a division, if they're lucky enough to win the flag this year, go up a division to Division 2, where it's the level steps up once again. Those players are only going to get better, and that taste of senior footy this year is the perfect thing for their career.
Absolutely, and the great thing about Mooroolbark is they're a bit like Surrey Park that we talk about in the men's. They've gone up one division and they haven't looked back, which is just fantastic.
Well, it's to be sitting first on the ladder at the halfway point of the season, coming up a division, it's almost unheard of. You don't really have that sort of success that quickly in a new division. Obviously, there's a lot of work to do in the second half of the year, and like the Eastern Devils, they've got some injuries themselves. They've got players out of the side, which I would love to get back in come the end of the season. But that's just football, and that's the way it goes. But what they've been able to do, and speaking to Karen, has obviously had a profound impact on the club, but Dom as well, the senior coach of last season. It's a very good coaching group that they've got down at the club, and they come into this game as what you would say is the favourites. I think they have to be. They just the one loss this season. A surprise one to South Croydon a couple of weeks ago, but other than that, they're scoring quite frequently. It's rarely that they'll score under less than 7 goals, and they're being able to keep opposition to 1 or 2 on the other end. So they're a very, very well-balanced team. There's
been a definite trend with that, that's for sure. So obviously, I would expect in terms of this game, I think we are going to see a few surprise packets in the new players for the Eastern Devils, which in my view will probably give a bit of a run for the Mustangs money. They tend to find, at the Devs, they tend to find very gifted individuals from other sports. The likes of Jason Cridland, we've spoken to has definitely identified players in the past who come from different sports. And you look at the senior team, for instance, Ari Munyard and a handful of others as well. Ari started running around in the resis, and now she's got a regular senior spot, which is just fantastic. And she's also recruited Beck from Vermont as well, which is just fantastic for them. So there's a lot of room for development across both teams.
There is, and the recruitment, as you mentioned, has been top class from the Devils in the last couple of seasons, and particularly in the senior level, where they've been able to pick up Brenda Lay from South Croydon, who's had a profound impact already. Hayley Thompson from East Ringwood, the goal kicker the leading goal kicker last year, I think, in Division 1. Kicked over 50 goals and actually played in one of the reserves games earlier this season against Mitcham, kicked 6 goals. And having a look at the top goal kickers in Division 3, she'd probably still almost be in that top 5 off one game. So obviously her talents you'll see here at Mulgrave Reserve later for the senior game. But as the Devils come out onto the ground now for the first time this morning, I believe that's a senior group out on the field at the moment. Jono, is that correct?
That is
forming
the guard of honour, which is obviously a great part of the culture of this team. And you know, they always seem to get around each other, which is just fantastic. We recall last year here in the match of the round, it was Brooke Fox's 300, and a special shout out to Foxy if you're watching all the way from the US of A. You know,
where in the US today?
I'm actually not sure, but like we remember the incredible cheer and the incredible atmosphere as she and the team ran out, and it was just so special. And moments like these make a club, don't they?
You're absolutely right. And you know, talking about that milestone, that was 300 games. I think, was it the 5th woman to be able to reach that achievement, which is unbelievable. And obviously missing today, but hopefully, is she coming back later in the year for the?
I would imagine so. She's had an incredible impact on this footy club. Obviously, ex-president making way for Rachel Baker, who we can see out there, the sister of Julia, who we've been fortunate enough to talk to this year as well. You mentioned the goal kicking list of course, and in Division 3 currently it's Georgia Fairbairn from Mitcham with 19 snags. And we mentioned Hayley Thompson. She just had 6. She's currently ranked 8th in the Division 3 goal kicking. So I suppose if she
not bad off one game.
I suppose if she doesn't get another Division 3 game, it'd be interesting to see where she finishes. But she's on top of the likes of Amy Morrow, Rachel McPherson, Grace Tobin, and many others. But one of them that I can see in the list is Rana Khan, who's going to be running out for the Mustangs today. She has 33 snags to her name across a 71-game career, and she's in her 2nd season with the Mustangs after a fairly experienced under-18 campaign. So she's going to be one to watch today for Ryan for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I think she had a pretty impressive game last time these two sides met. Were able to kick a couple of goals, and probably their big strength is, as you said, you look at the top 5 goal kickers of that division. There's one Mooroolbark player in Lily Chilver, but other than that,
she's out today,
and she's not there today. So for a side that scores so frequently, it comes from all avenues. There's no reliance on one certain player to get their goals, and that's a sign of a very good team. Yeah. That they're not relying on anyone. They've got the depth at the club. Players are coming in, can fit into those roles very nicely, and that's why they're sitting on top of the ladder at the moment. And defensively, and when you've got players like Emma Beer down playing at half back,
I'm actually really excited to watch it.
Well, she's probably been, and I don't know the tally for the Division 3 best and fairest, league best and fairest, but I would have to imagine she would be very close at the top. I
mean, from 13 games, she's had 12 bests.
Yeah.
13 games. She hasn't been playing the game of football for long, but she is definitely a weapon, as Karen Ralph alluded to earlier.
Oh, 100%.
And, obviously, for those who don't know, the two people I mentioned come from the same club in the Ringwood District Cricket Association in Norwood, which, again, like I said, sport just brings everyone together from all walks of life, and we're about to see more of that today.
Probably the other thing as well, the fact that they've lost players from last year as well. I mean, we talked about Georgia Booth a lot in the back half of last season, who was crucial in their premiership run. She's not there this year, and they just, with those under-18s that have come up into the senior side, they've never looked out of place, and that's been really impressive for them. And looking forward to just seeing what they'll be able to do here. They'll be up against some tough competition in the Devils. So I think this will be a competitive game. Are we doing tips? Do you want to do? I'll give you my tip. I think
Let's go straight for it.
I think Mooroolbark by 2 or 3 goals, but I think the Devils will really push them today. I think both sides have got some outs, so neither side at full strength. But back here at Mulgrave Reserve, they always play particularly well at their home ground. So I'm tipping a close one, but Mooroolbark to get the job done, Jono.
I'll be conservative and say Mooroolbark by 6 points. And it will be definitely an interesting game for sure as we head down to the boundary for the first time today. Kate, I can see you. Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, gentlemen.
What are conditions like out there? It is a bit dewy underfoot.
And cold.
Cindy,
You got the
what's that?
jacket on, which is good.
Is that your third or fourth layer that you've got on there?
Fourth.
There we go. So we're set for a big game. The toss has been one and done. I'm not sure who's going which way, but the two umpiring team led by Maddie Wright. Of course, she's got a former cricket teammate out there by the name of Jordan Tovalar. I don't know how many times I'm going to make cricket references. I thought I was going to make basketball references on account of the fact that the captain of the Eastern Devils, Georgina Beach, obviously plays for a basketball team named the Fill-Ins alongside
Devils going to the
Cass.
right of the screen.
Thank you very much.
In this quarter. Opening term.
We're all pretty much all set to go here for the match of the round. As people come up here on the pavilion, we are set to go for the Deakin University match of the round. Here's Ryan Long.
1v2 here at Mulgrave Reserve. Mooroolbark versus the Eastern Devils. Tap out underway. No easy clearance. We might get another ball up back in the middle, right where we started. Thanks for joining us, Facebook and YouTube. Let us know where you're tuning in from this morning. Great to have your company across today's big clash. Top of the table clash. The Devils looking to get a kick through the teammate there in Law. Was cut off here by Mooroolbark, who will have their first chance of going forward. Inside 50 through Reynolds. Bouncing footy. They've always been very dangerous running out the back. Here's Freegan. Kick on goal. Bouncing footy will roll through for a behind. So first score of the day, one behind from Mooroolbark. Eastern Devils yet to score off the foot of April Freegan.
It's probably just a bit too easy of an entry there as Jess Coyle sends it in the Stevens direction. She takes the mark. Looking to go on the broadcast wing. She's got Gather Cole calling for it. Can't take the mark as it heads over the boundary, surely. There we go. It's gone over the boundary. I wasn't going to do a Brian Taylor impersonation so early in the piece, Chief.
No.
Probably not warranted as the umpire throws up the footy. Ball hits the deck. A lot of players circling. Underneath that all was Emily Chalmers, former East Burwood player. Up will go again. So the defensive pressure has increased somewhat as Haberfeld gets it in and comes towards goal. Is the mark taken? No, it does go over. And it is two behinds Mooroolbark to the Eastern Devils, yet to score. 2 minutes gone.
April Freegan looking dangerous early on in the stage. Had a almost goal before and then almost found the chest of Khan. This clearing kick from the Devils is out of bounds, so we'll get a ball up here right in front of the Mooroolbark huddle. Two behinds to no score. Favour of Mooroolbark. They've had the opening two inside 50s. Tap forward here. Just outside their forward 50 at the moment. They were to keep this one in. And we'll get another ball up again. Just outside Mooroolbark's attacking half.
So it's just a game of gaining metres, isn't it, Ryan? I mean, and obviously Mooroolbark has gained a lot of metres already.
Well, they are, and they've just been able to hold the Devils up here at their half-back line. And again, we'll get another stoppage.
Stevens unable to hold onto that one, so we'll go up in the ruck. Lily McDonald, Cass Stevens. McDonald gets the tap down. It was in the direction of Law. Couldn't quite get hands on it. Mooroolbark just peppering away with the pressure. A lot of tackling pressure early on in the piece. We'll have another ball up. 16:40 left on the clock here in the first term of the Deakin University match of the round. Here live and free all around the world. Here at the Devils Playground, of course, it's affectionately known as.
I was waiting for that.
Go up once more. Stevens this time gets the tap down, but it's a hit out to advantage from Mooroolbark. Sending the ball forward there was McMaster, did okay, but missed a lot. So the Devils to bring it in from defence.
Still the two behinds to no score in the early stages of this first term. 1v2, as we said. between the two sides. Mooroolbark with a comfortable win last time the two sides played, but as Karen Wells said, it was a much closer game than what the scoreboard suggested. They've been able to lock it in.
That, aren't we?
Well, they've been able to lock it in their forward half, Mooroolbark, but just unable to finish off their good work so far. Another stoppage inside 50. No one really goes up for that one. Stephen's got a tap to it. Ball cleared out, but a mark from Mooroolbark will send them back into attack. Right from where it came. Pack of players like that's a strong mark in defence for the Devils as they keep it on that far side. Almost a mark there for Delaney. Running in there.
Jim, here she is.
As Owens back in the side this week. We'll get another ball up.
So umpire Matty Wright throws it back into play. Strickland. No, sorry, that's Beach. Dispossessed. Mooroolbark player was wrapped up. Gaffer Cole gets the hands up, but it's straight into the chest of Dovalar. A very, very impressive sportswoman. On the outer side then, Stevens gets the tap down, tried to get it into the lap of Gaffer Cole, couldn't quite turn over Mooroolbark and into the pocket, which should result in a Devils free kick, I would imagine, but the umpire's called to ball it up. I'm sorry. Must have gone off the hands, Kate.
It was a touch.
There you go. So Mooroolbark with the first shot at, well, another shot at goal rather, and has it gone through? I don't believe so. Another behind. 14 minutes to go, rather. It's Mooroolbark 3, Devs 0.
Just let them off the hook a little bit, but they've done extremely well just to lock this footy in their back half. The Devils really struggling to get the ball moving past this point. Mooroolbark with all the numbers behind the footy. Inside 50 it goes, bouncing ball. Sort of eludes a Devils play in Gathacole. We'll get another ball up, but it's right on that 60, about 60 metres out. That's where they've been able to turn the ball over each time. Mooroolbark can bring it back into attack. Punched forward there by McDonald. Got players running onto this one, tapping it forward there. It's cleared, kick out for the Devils. Mark almost taken by Nichols. Did very well, was tackled as she got rid of it. Doing quite well to escape here, Owens. Able to keep it in front of her. Well done there by Owen, who kicks towards the boundary line. It's managed to be kept in. That's a great kick forward. Done very well there. Haberfield could run onto this. It's McDonald who throws the ball on the boot. Or it's Forrest, in fact. Doing very well. Plenty of numbers around the footy here, but Devils' defensive efforts have been very strong so far. Reynolds. Chance for Dovler. Inside 50 through McMaster. Punch from behind. Again, well defended. McMaster ran onto it again. Got the ball forward. Tackle by Stevens, and we'll get a ball up inside 50. Some good work from both sides.
We've got an early insight into how Mooroolbark just win games so well and how they move the ball. That was an incredible kick earlier there from Haberfield to try and keep it in. This play continues here. Gathacole ran onto it and then was dispossessed. She's still lurking around the contest. Can she get it back? No, she won't on this occasion. Law was tackled. It almost landed in the hands of Forrest there as Mooroolbark do inch forward, but Strickland's to the front of the ball, and as well there is Stevens as Gathacole gets involved again on hands and knees. Ball spills out. Law picks up the ball, is shoved in the back. In fact, it was holding. So Law's got it in the pocket at half back. Kicks on the 45, immediately turns it over. It landed in the hands of McDonald, and then she picked up the ball again. Inside 50 they go.
Oh, great kick.
And a mark is taken straight away. She plays on immediately, does Khan, goes around the body. Mooroolbark have the first.
Boundary.
Let's go down to the boundary with Kate Green with some stats.
Clearances 1 each, inside 50s 1-0, intercepts Devils 1 to Mooroolbark 3 tackles 6 to 9, and inside 50s is all Mooroolbark way.
Thanks, Kate. That was their best entry inside 50 as well, Jono. The kick was perfect for Khan, and she did very well to extend the angle and put that through. So on the board, 139 to zip. As you mentioned just before, we're going to get another ball up back in the middle again. 10.5 minutes to play in this first term for the Deakin University match of the round. Stevens and McDonald go up. No one really gets a clear tap forward. Devils a chance to go forward themselves here. Handball over the top from Law. Tried to find Strickland. It's turned over here, and inside 50 goes McDonald. A long kick. It's in front. Out the back there is Khan. Well worked off the ball there. As the Devils clear this one out, but it's not going to be enough as the ball inside 50 through Delaney. No one able to take a mark. Looking for Khan again, who's very dangerous early on. And we're going to get another stoppage. Khan would be the player I'd be watching very closely in this forward line if you're a Devils defender.
No one can get a clear tap. It still does gain some metres for Mooroolbark as that Devils player was held. They go for another shot on goal. Have they got it? No. Well, they do have.
Does finish. What a finish.
There you go. So another goal for the Mustangs. They kick away 2-3-15. The Devils yet to score. 9 minutes and 25 on the clock here in the first. And where have the Devils got to find it from? I think the goal there was from Jane Peruk.
A tough finish there from that angle as well. I've just done all the attacking early on. 2-3-15 to the Devils yet to score. 9 minutes to play in this first term.
Just need to get the ball out of the way, out of the middle straight away, and Stevens just needs to slap this one forward.
That's exactly what she does, and running onto this very nicely there was Hancock. Wrapped up though, so we'll get a ball up back in the middle, and looks like she potentially may have hit her head in that contest.
No.
Played at East Burwood
26.
last year, Jade Hancock. So we'll have a stop in play here as the trainers come out onto the field. 2-3-15, Mooroolbark Eastern Devils yet to score. 8.5 minutes to play in this first term. It was great work from Stevens there from the ruck contest. He was able to get the ball forward. So we await.
So Nichols and Law just helping Jade Hancock out, as we will have a brief pause in play as Prim's off the leash. Hopefully she doesn't get on the field, Brian.
Who's that?
So Morgan Cox's dog. So
there are a lot of dogs down here this morning.
There are indeed. One of the things that our one of our, I suppose, friends of the show, umpire Maddie Wright, she noted pre-game. She comes down here and notices there's a lot of dogs. As there's the 3-on-1 stoush here on boundary side.
Looks like she's being carried off now by the hands of the trainers. Thanks, Kate.
Oh, no.
Quite possibly a knee.
A knee.
Another one. Sheesh.
I will confirm for you.
Thanks, Kate. Not good news from the Devils' perspective, who have had a lot of injuries thus far in this season, particularly in this reserves team. And not a player you want to lose as well.
She's only played footy for a couple of seasons. Obviously, last in her debut season, she was with East Burwood. Very similar kit to it, has to be said. As Maddie Wright will get things restarted in the middle. 6:43 on the clock. A brief stoppage, but time has to continue without a stretcher, obviously. Gemma Owen gets involved. Pulls behind it. Now here's McDonald. Got the kick smothered. Meters gained for the Devils. It's really close. Here comes Gemma Owen, who socketed off the ground, then left it behind. Mooroolbark defenders come to the fore. McDonald's there. It's wrapped up. And umpire Wright throws it up once more. So the Devils with their just about first forward 50 entry Law intercepts, got the hand, ball off to Owen. Kick was smothered there by by the kick that came off the Mooroolbark player, I should say. Speaking of Mooroolbark, they do have a free kick. And it's
that McDonald again.
Jacelyn Hopkins.
It is.
Stands the mark. Across the wing, the mark is taken there by Delaney. She's got a paddock ahead of her. She kicks the ball to no one in particular. So Stevens can run onto this one. Turns well and then turns it over again. Unfortunately, it does land in the hands of that Mooroolbark player in McDonald, who was immediately racked up. Umpire calls for it on the edge of the centre square on opposite broadcast side to throw it up.
And the best player on the ground so far, McDonald taps that one forward in front of a teammate here who's able to run onto it and send them back inside 50 once again in the Khan direction, right on the chest. Fantastic ball movement. And another mark inside 50 for Khan, who is well and truly in her range to kick this one. Still a fair way out. But she's a strong finish, strong kick of the ball. That's a great kick off the boots. Just to the right, so a minus score. 2-4-16, Mooroolbark. Eastern Devils yet to score. And McDonald and Khan, the connection between those two have been fantastic. It wasn't, I think it was someone else who actually kicked that ball inside 50, but they're just moving the ball so well at the moment.
The Devils can come back from here before, obviously. There was that game, the Premier Grand Final last year, when the Devs fought back from a massive odds to win the Grand Final last year. Owen kicking in the direction of Richards, I think it is. Strickland tries to pick it up. Beer is buried underneath all that. Great tackle there from Gather Cole. I keep almost saying Butcher. I'm struggling, but nevertheless, hopefully I don't say that too much. The tap was in the direction of Owen, who laid a strong tackle, and Matty Wright will call it through again. So Beer's in around the play a lot of the time, and so is McDonald, who is pretty much at every contest. It's Stevens and McDonald in the ruck on that occasion. Plays to run onto this one. Guess who? McDonald gets it off to Reynolds. They run onto this one. Reynolds kicks towards the left in the direction of McManus. No one can get onto that one. It falls into touch. And it will be a Devils free kick from defence. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first term.
So well set up behind the footy, so I've been able to lock it in like they've done here. The mark by Jordan Forrest. We'll put it towards the top of the square. Big pack of players will fly for this one. Bounce off the hands of a Mooroolbark player there. Ball just manages to come out and the Devils try and clear it. McDonald, again, Forrest is able to pick it up. Nicely spun around the 360, shot on the way, and it's marked in defence. And well done there by Coyle, who almost finds Owen, slipped through her hands. She'll end up with the footy again, fumbles it over the line, and we'll get a ball up. 2.5 minutes to go in this first term. 2 forward to the Devils yet to score. Thanks for joining us, Facebook and YouTube this morning.
All around the world.
All around the world, that's right.
As the old saying goes, which nobody uses apart from me, Eastern's everywhere, literally. We've had people tune in from Pakistan. We've had people tune in from Queensland, who I assume we definitely would have today.
Why Queensland?
Well, there's a former Queenslander or two out on the park today who might get a mention a little bit later on. So if you've just joined us, Jade Hancock may have a knee injury. We'll find out the extent of that at quarter time as we approach the final moments of this first term. 90 seconds to go. Umpire Pays holding the ball. For a few players sat on that one, it's going to be a free kick to the Eastern Devils. Strickland calls from it from long range. So does Stevens. Can someone take the mark? No, they can't, as Beer gets involved around the contest again. It's around the boundary line. Can anyone get this one? It does move out the back from Mooroolbark, and they can move the ball as well as they have all morning so far. If not for one, Ellie Gathacole, who almost got onto that one. On that occasion, it was Beach, who might be able to get the ball back again. Here's Chalmers. And Maddie Wright will call for another ball up again as we enter inside the final 45 seconds.
There's 45 seconds left. Owen will run onto this one, running towards the boundary line, sees it out. We'll get another ball up. I've just got to hold on for another 30 seconds here. Wouldn't want to concede a third goal at the moment. 2-4 to yet to score. Time ticking down here in this first term. Tap forward by Stevens, running onto this. Forrest doing well to trap this footy. Almost pushed in the back there as they link up the Mustangs. And throwing the ball for a kick. So the Devils will take this with 10 seconds left, and they'll be able to hold on here and won't concede a third goal. And a smart kick backwards as they run down the clock at quarter time. Here it is Mooroolbark leading 2-4-16 to the Eastern Devils, yet to score. We'll be back in just a moment to go through the goal kickers, everything that's happening here in this game, and taking a look at some of the scores around the grounds.
Welcome back to the Deakin University match of the round. It is round 8, and we've got a game between the Eastern Devils and Mooroolbark Division 3 sides. The score, of course, Mooroolbark 2-4-16 lead the Devils yet to score. Kate, let's go straight down to you. What's the injury prognosis on Jade Hancock?
Jade Hancock is off for the rest of the game. She's actually rolled her ankle, and so she's going to be seeking further assessment, as she has done the same thing a few weeks ago.
And you've also got Big Mac, John McNamara.
Hi, John. Bit of a tough first quarter. How are you feeling about it, and what's the message for the team moving forward?
Oh, yeah, look, it was tough. We've lost 2 already, but that doesn't make it easy. But, look, we just weren't getting any clear possession, taking any ground or anything like that. So they're the instructions to just try and make sure that we get some blocks on so players can get some clear kicks. Well, I think we had one entry into our forward line, and that was it. So as I say, there's a bit to do there.
Yeah. Just with that second play, we may have missed that. We know that Jade Hancock's out. Who's the other player that's out?
B, or B as we call her. She's hurt her fingers again. So she's gone for the day. So down to 2 on the bench, I think, now.
Okay, well, all the best for the rest of the game, quarter this going forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate. It will be tough, certainly, with 2 down on the bench at the moment, with a Mooroolbark side who are on fire in that first quarter. They were unstoppable from the middle. They just locked the footy in their back half. They were, as the quarter started to progress, able to find a bit of space in their forward line and hit up targets like Khan, who is just such a good mark of the footy, and was able to finish truly on one of those occasions. As we're back to the boundary with Kate.
I have Don with me from Mooroolbark. Pretty good quarter. What's the message moving forward?
Yeah, look, it was a good start. I thought our pressure around the ball was elite. I've just asked the girls to continue that pressure around the football and just to hold their space and get the run on going.
They've done really well with tackles. I think I've got them at 15 tackles and inside 50 at 14. So they're doing well.
Yeah, look, that's one of our focuses is obviously you bring the pressure around the ball. It's going to be hard for the opposition to get it out. So we pride ourselves on the pressure.
Thanks very much, Dom. All the best for the quarter.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Kate. Doing a great job on the boundary. 2-4-16 Mooroolbark Eastern Devils yet to score here at quarter time. A quick couple scores around the grounds. Waverley Blues Kilsyth this morning, 114-13. A big win for Waverley Blues. Berwick Surrey Park 15-0 over Berwick, as Jono will take us away second quarter.
I wonder how many goals Charlotte Fairbairn's kicked, because she's definitely one to watch, and it was her first game today for the Blues after coming from... In fact, she's still under 18s, I think. Right. So she played a bit of representative football last year, and she's very good at what she does. As we're back to this game, and
Captain's
the Devils
tackle.
have a free kick after a brilliant tackle. The kick was in the direction of Owen. Immediately turned it over. Lily McDonald has it directly in front of us. Kicks a high up and under ball. Can it be marked? It was slapped with the golden fist. Probably should have taken the mark. Owen lays a tackle on hands and knees there as Law got it up to Richards. Richards down the line, almost got cut off by McDonald. It was cut off though by Beer, who sent a kick to open space. Who can run onto this one? Gather Cole's chasing. She almost gathered. This time she does. Coyle, Gathercole trying to work this one out. Chasing it hard as Khan. The Devils clear it out, and that's a good sign of things to come early as they come to half back, immediately wrapped up and holding the ball's the call. You can see it coming, and Mooroolbark have it now at half forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Pressure's been unreal. As Dom mentioned at quarter time, 16-point leaders. They go inside 50 again. Just falling short, bouncing footy out the back. It's Freegan, if she can run onto this, taps it forward to a teammate who's held without it, and she'll earn herself a free kick here, just outside 50. Mooroolbark back into attack. A lot of one-on-ones. She can get it deep. Kick inside 50, finds a target. They're looking for their third, still far way out from home. Probably about 45 metres away from the goals. Long kick inside, looking for Khan. Kicked it out of mid-air. Running onto this one, Haberfield got the handball forward. Find a teammate there in Freegan. Kick forward, she ends up with it. Just wrapped up in a tackle, so Big chance here from Mooroolbark to get their third. Coming up to 7-8 minute mark, the 3rd minute mark, sorry, of this second term.
The countdown
Out of the
scoreboard
middle,
does.
Khan, handball over the top of her head. It was cut off there by Chalmers. The ball still comes out, still going, almost a free kick. That's got to be a free kick for Haverfield. Wasn't.
Play on.
Thrown off it.
We have a
Ends up
decision.
with a footy anyway. McDonald. In fact, Forrest. Kick towards the top of the square. Bouncing footy. Works out well for the Devils, who are able
Nice
to clear
push.
it through Gather Cole. But it falls into the hands of Emma Beer, who can send it back inside.
So Beer, a multi-sport superstar, sent it in with a massive kick. It's a hard ball to get onto, though. Free kick goes the way of Mooroolbark. Lily McDonald's got it. She goes further afield. The golden fist from Ellie Gather-Cole. She's very good at doing that, and it's another free kick, I believe, to the Eastern Devils. It's going to go the way of Gather-Cole. Sent it out towards the boundary line in the Owen direction. She turned tackler. Ball advances further afield. No one really ahead for the Devils, so Mooroolbark can make use of the space. McDonald picks up the ball. And they're going to enter inside 50 again, one would think. Now the Devils come and put on the pressure. Gather-Cole was at ground level. Freegan in and around that one as well. Stalemate. So 16-0 in favour of the Mustangs. Go up again. Big tap there from McDonald. He's on fire in the ruck. It comes to the opposite ruck though, and Stevens, and they've got a good run on here, the Devils. Oh gee, it didn't fall quite well for her. I think that might have been Richards as she's underneath all that. No, it wasn't. It was Holly Fields. So a ball up is called for. After all that, it's a beautiful tap, but it landed in the hands of Amato. Mustangs trying to find open space to try and get this one back inside their forward 50. Just been through quite a few times. Stevens couldn't quite intercept that one. As Mooroolbark can move this one out the back. They go down the centre of the ground. Here's a chance for Louise Spindler to try and tackle that one. She couldn't. Coyle in defence. Picks up the ball, in fact, taps it back in the direction of Porter. But Mooroolbark get the ball once more. It's a hot footy to be won. Who can get around this one? Maybe Freegan again. Tackle laid. Ball up. About 15, 20 metres from goal.
Big chance here from Mooroolbark. 2-4-16. Eastern Devils yet to score. Punched forward from Stevens. Khan, smart little tap. Got it to Dovler. Kick on its way. Bouncing footy in the front of Sheehan. Should be able to pick it up here. Did very well. A smart handball off to Forrest, whose kick manages to stay in actually, but it's all Devils numbers in the back pocket. Their Coyle's one of them. She's able to clear this footy out. Well done to Strickland. Takes an important mark. Her kick is off the side of the boot though, so out of bounds on the full, and Mooroolbark will take this. It'll be Reynolds who will take the kick.
So using time is very key. There's plenty of time here in this second term for them.
Absolutely. Here's McDonald, bouncing footy for her. That's a great kick towards the top of the square and tapped out of bounds. Can't keep it in. 13.5 minutes to play in this second term. 2-4-16. Mooroolbark. Eastern Devils yet to score.
So umpire brings it in. Stevens gets a tap down. Fell for no one in particular. Law picked up the footy, dispossessed again. She's got Beach for help. Can't quite. She turns tackler. So does Emily Chalmers. Another ball up. This time it's a hit out to advantage for the Eastern Devils, but Mooroolbark, they're absolutely everywhere, getting the ball at every available opportunity. Beach takes the mark in defence. Rallies the troops. elects to go inboard. Mark was almost taken by Madgwick. They can dribble it along the ground. Here's a chance now for Holyfield's picking up the ball, immediately tackled and dispossessed. Umpire calls for it straight away, directly in front of us here. 12.5 to go, second term.
Devils pushing forward, tap forward from Stevens. Dovelar's there for the Mustangs. You've got forward Devils to compete with, good pressure here. The kick forward from Madgwick. But again, it's all the numbers from Mooroolbark. Doing well there was Haverfield out at half back. The kick's one to compete with. She ends up coming in and having an impact on that contest. We'll get a ball up again back in the middle with 12 minutes to play in this second term Deakin University match of the round at 1v2 in Division 3.
The Devils have definitely improved.
They have this quarter. It's going forward here from Mooroolbark though. Got a bit of space and time and running too far. McMaster just thought she may have got a kick away in time, but thought for running too far. So this one will come back for the Devils in Madgwick as we go boundary side to Kate Green.
Devils, as Jono said, Devils' intensity has increased. They're only two down in tackle count to Mullbark at this point for quarter 2.
Thanks, Kate. Kick on the way from Owen to a 3-on-1 in favour of the Mustangs. McDonald again. He finds plenty of space and a one-on-one contest. Doing very well, that defender there, but it still falls in the hands of Khan. Gets past one opponent, throws it on the right boot towards goal. This will be your goal of the day. Bouncing footy, just manages to get through. And that is spectacular stuff.
Get out of here.
And Khan has her second. What a finish. 3-4-22. Mooroolbark Eastern Devils yet to score. And that's your goal of the day, John O'Ven.
So far, we've still got one half of footy to go. And, well, as I say, the Devils have improved on a few key areas, but just can't quite get the ball inside 50 exactly where they want it. And got 10.5 to go here in the second term. Devils making better use of the football. Still got a way to go. Hit out to advantage, Mooroolbark. Dovelar can run onto this one. Tackled straight away. Can she get it out? No. Ball up. This time it's another hit out to advantage from McDonald. Footy's on the deck. Mooroolbark make best use of it. Inside 50 once again. Ball falls behind. Here's another chance for Mooroolbark. Almost intercepted by Freegan as Beach tried to pull that one out. Khan getting involved again. Here's a chance now. Ball hits the deck. Can anyone find space? Louise Spindler's around that one. Also known as Spider. The fist from Stevens is a good one. Goes in the Madgwick direction. Can they keep that one in? No. In fact, it wasn't quite a boundary ball up. It was brought in by umpire nonetheless. We've got another ball up here. 9 minutes to go here in the second term.
Considering the pressure they've been down back, they've held up okay to only concede the 3 goals. Here's Khan in the pocket. It was cut off by the captain for the Devils in Beach, but her kick out of bounds on the full. So taking this kick will be Alice Reynolds. And her kick's cut off by Owen. And she's caught. She played on and holding the ball. So well done there by Haverfield. Ruby Haverfield to send the Mustangs back into attack again. Short kick. Was looking for the captain. And it's all wrapped up. So we'll get a ball up with 8.5 minutes to play in this second term. 3-4 to the Devils yet to score. And as I was saying before, their pressure has certainly lifted in the last 10 minutes. And they'll be able to hold this one up as well. So they'll earn themselves a free kick here. Gathercole will take this kick out at half-back.
It's interesting because Tom Gathercole just shook my hand, the husband of Ellie. So it's great to have a lot of support from family and friends around the place. And the Devils inch forward.
This is a chance.
Here we go indeed. Hopkins Sent a big kick. The first game has done very well. Can the number 89 in Orty run onto this one? No, she can't. As Mooroolbark send it back, or this time to the opposite side of the ground. Still plenty of space for the Devils to conquer on this occasion. And it was, might have been, that Devils player who landed in the back of that Mustangs player, but nonetheless, the umpire said play on. Mustangs, best use of the footy again. A big kick towards the paint of 50 is a good one. Can they run onto this one? No, they can't. Is Madwick tried to send a kick, but it was smothered. Law on her knees, trying to get this one out. Mooroolbark have the numbers around the contest. Here's Reynolds, I think it was. She was wrapped up at the end of all that. Got another ball up here at the top of the 50. 6:45 on the clock. Stevens got the tap down, but it wasn't another hit out to advantage. Mooroolbark have the ball through Haberfield. Did okay, but then the Devils put on the tackling pressure again, and the tackling pressure is certainly a factor in this game for the Devils, Ryan.
It is, as the captain looks to clear it out of defence. It's a 2-on-1. Well done there by Reynolds. Got it to a teammate, but the pressure again is quite good. They're able to kick it into space. Running onto this again is McDonald. Find some time to throw the ball on the boot, looking for Freegan. Bouncing footy. Chance of the Devils here to clean this up through Law. Big tackle on Stevens. And we'll get a ball up inside 50 again. 6 minutes to play, second term. 22-point lead for the Mustangs. Running onto this now. McMaster. Her kick towards the top of the square's cut off.
Oh,
and
dear.
play on now. A chance for Freegan, who could run into a goal here. And it just to the left of the big stick. So a minus score. 3-5, 23 Mustangs.
Are you kidding me?
Eastern Devils yet to score. Player looks to be down behind play. Just waiting on a number there.
It's Butch. It's Gathercole. And this isn't good. This isn't good at all. It has been a very tough year for the Eastern Devils in terms of the injuries. And this is the one person who...
It played really well today.
I know
as
for
well.
sure wouldn't want to get injured for sure. Still down, and this is really... Yeah, really disappointing indeed.
Less than 5 minutes playing this second term as we wait to see what happens here with the trainers out in the field. 3-5, 23 Mustangs. Eastern Devils yet to score. Probably a good time to go around the grounds to see some results at the moment happening in the competition. We talked about the Waverley Blues big win over Kilsyth this morning, 114-13. Surrey Park lead Berwick 29-0. We'll jump into some other divisions. Division 4, we've got a couple of updates in. 45-7, Wanturna South defeated Baronia Gold this morning. Nuttawading lead Fair Park 9-7. Still waiting on some Premier game results. Of course, out here at Mulgrave Reserve, it's the Eastern Devils Premier side taking on Mount Evelyn. Be an interesting contest there. I think 1 versus 4 with Mount Evelyn getting back in the top 4 last week. As good to see Gathercole be able to walk off the ground. Not sure what the incident was there, but was able to walk off as the Devils will clear this one out. Looking for the skipper here at halfback, takes the mark in Beach, who's had a pretty strong second quarter, I thought. This kick falls to the other captain, Jordan Dobler,
Superstar.
who's also been very good this second quarter. Back into attack now, Mooroolbark. It's a 1-on-4 for Khan to compete in, and a very strong mark in defence.
Spindler.
Who'll take this kick at halfback.
So it has been a very tough day at the office so far for the Eastern Devils. The kick from Spindler was intercepted by Amato. She left it behind and then got it back again. Sent a kick forward. It does stay in. And
what's happened?
Maddie Wright's blown a whistle. And has she called it out of bounds? I don't think that was out of bounds.
No, I mean, we might have been wrong, but...
Let's go down to the boundary with Kate Green.
Definitely wasn't out of bounds.
Oh. wasn't out of bounds. It's the reverse, Brian Taylor. We started off with that one, and now we've got this. So, back into play. McDonald sent it forward. Beach dispossessed. Law picked it up, kicked it out in the fall. In fact, it landed in the hands of her partner, Sam McGeck, who's running for the Eastern Devils today. Oh, dear. It's been an interesting game so far. Haberfield sent it forward.
Oh.
How about this? How about this? The kick went forward from, I think it might have been McMaster.
Yep.
And she unfortunately registered the minor score on this occasion. 2 minutes to go here in the second term. Ryan Long, the floor is yours.
There's a ball up inside 50 here for the Mustangs. They lead by 23 points with less than 2 minutes on the clock in this second term. The captain there wrapped up by McMaster, who had that last shot on goal. It's been impressive. Both players have actually, in fact. And that tap out straight into the hands of Beach. Sending it out of defence. Mark almost taken. And underneath it there was Amado, doing very well, trying to get this one in. They're unable to do so. And the Devils will take this kick right in front of the coaching box. And Strickland, in fact, it's actually going to be a ball up. The umpire's called this back. So with 1:18, are they a chance to make this a 29-point lead going into half-time? They've had all the play. They've been fantastic, Mooroolbark. Probably haven't had the reward for effort from their forward 50 entries so far. So a ball up just outside 50, punch forward by McDonald, who's been best on so far, I think. Tackled on Beach. 50 seconds left to play. Another ball up just on the forward 50 arc here from Mooroolbark.
42 seconds, ball's thrown back into play. One last chance for Mooroolbark perhaps as Law tried to intercept that one, went back for it again, then left it behind. Here's another chance here for Mooroolbark. In Forrest, she sent it forward, intercepted by the Eastern Devils again. Forrest got it back and sent it high up and under. It went to the goal line. Can someone get it out the back? It is still a chance of goal. Lots of Devils players in defence. They've got the numbers. And they managed to put a stop to that right at the death. 10 seconds to go here in the second term. Ball's tapped over the line. The Devils will breathe a sigh of relief, one would think, as Strickland kicks it outside of the 50 in the direction of Hopkins. But that'll do us for the half in the Deakin University Match of the Round Division 3 game between the Eastern Devils and Mooroolbark. It is 1v2 here at Mulgrave Reserve. We'll be back with the second half and some scores and some goal kickers right after this. Wasn't in and Whitey called it.
When the whistle went, I thought it must have been a free kick. Welcome back to the Deakin University match of the round between the Eastern Devils and Mooroolbark in Division 3. It is 1v2 playing here at Mulgrave Reserve with the senior side up next. The Premier Division Eastern Devils taking on Mount Evelyn. At this game, it is 3-5, 23 Mooroolbark leading the Devils. No score at half-time. A very dominant first half, particularly from the likes of Lily McDonald in that first term. Having a look at some of the scores around the grounds. No updates as of yet from Premier Division. Some important games to be played. Looking at Division 2, we talked about this game earlier. 114-13, Waverley Blues defeating Kilsyth. Surrey Park still hold a 29-point lead over Berwick. So you would expect them to remain on top of the Division 2 ladder after a very strong start to the season. Division 1 still waiting on some results from those games. Some important ones including a North Ringwood, East Ringwood game out at Quamby Reserve, where both sides have been in some terrific form. In Division 4, Wanturna South defeated Bronya 45-7. Nuttawading lead Fair Park 9-7 at half-time there. And then obviously in this division, Heathmont and Coldstream playing out a bit of a close one out at Coldstream Reserve. 3-5-23 the Jets to Coldstream 3-3-21. So one to watch out for there. Both sides been very competitive this season. And this division as a whole, Jono, it's one of the most even of the competition. Obviously, even Mooroolbark, who have been the standout this season, lost a game to South Croydon. So anyone on their day can almost beat anyone.
Yeah, indeed. And I think South Croydon, when they did beat the Mustangs, they've definitely announced themselves at it as a contender, despite where they are on the ladder in comparison to obviously these two teams who are out on the park. And no, it's a big second half to come, and I spoke to Ellie Gathercole at the halftime break, and I think her knee's given way, so she's on ice and she's done for the day, unfortunately, which is quite unfortunate if you're a Devils fan. But as it stands, the Mustangs lead 23-0 the halftime break, and
Andrew,
let's go down to the boundary. Kate's with Big Mac again.
Dom, you're having a rough time with injuries, and much better that quarter. Your tackles were up 17 to their 21, so you really did increase the pressure that quarter.
Yeah, we did. I mean, yeah, again, we've lost Butch, who's one of our better players. Doesn't help, but anyway. But yeah, look, they were much better then. Again, still a lot of improvement in areas and trying to get entries into the forward line and so on. But yeah, we certainly restricted them with there. But I guess we're just going to have to see how they stand up with only having now, I think, 1 or 2 on the interchange. So,
what's the message for this quarter going in?
Oh, just focus. As we just said to them there, there's things that you don't have to have a lot of ability to improve on. You know, just like making a contest, punching from behind, and so on, and just not letting them lead us to the ball. So,
thanks very much. Good luck.
Thanks to Kate and Big Mac, John McNamara, for that chat. And it's great to chat to John as always, as Kate heads over to have a chat with the Mooroolbark team. And we can see that the senior team are just waiting to head out, and we'll talk about that in a moment as we head back down to Kate.
Dom, pretty good quarter that quarter. Your tackle pressure was 21 to their 17, so you've got to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, look, I've asked the girls not to change that at all, and I think that's what they'll do this quarter as well. We're very focused on the tackle pressure, so we'll keep doing that.
You've had quite a few inside 50s that quarter. You had 11 inside 50s, not much conversion. What's the message for that?
Yeah, basically they've dropped another player behind the ball, and I've asked for the mids to be aware of that and try and come through and help the two girls that are, and just be a running option. So yeah, we'll try some switching as well and see if we can open up the space.
Thanks very much, Dom. Take care.
So the game restarts here in the centre of the ground. Third quarter underway. It's a hard-fought ball that does come out to open space. Here's Gemma Owen, who soccers it off the ground. Can she get a touch on it before it goes into touch? She can. It's now out. It's important that we mention that because there was one that definitely wasn't out here in the second.
Still not sure
quarter.
Why that was called. And Khan, she had a bit of space too. That you never know
what
Very
could have happened
dangerous
as a
player.
result. So we go back again. That was a great tap there by Hopkins. She's going to be a fantastic addition, and she does obviously come from Shepparton United. It's her first game this year, so it's absolutely huge for the Devils to have her. The kick goes forward. Mooroolbark intercept there through McDonald, who's just been the shining light. Easily the best on the ground at the moment, I would say, but obviously you've got Khan down forward.
I think everything starts with McDonald.
Yeah.
Her work in the hit-outs have been fantastic, been
Well,
top
definitely
class,
does.
and then she follows up her work and has had plenty of the football going forward. As McMaster ends up with the ball here at half forward, just gets her hands away as Stevens tries to lay the tackle. She ends up with the footy, just gets it out in time. The captain in Beach gets a handball forward. On that far side, Dovler sends it forward, but it's turned over into the hands of Owen, all by herself, who it was great to see her back out on the field, kick towards the boundary line. Finds a teammate there, believe that might be Coyle, just gets her handball over the top to Beach. She's able to pick it up nicely.
How's her head?
As we get a ball up on that far side. 17.5 minutes to play in this third term. 3-5 to no score. Thanks for joining us. Deakin University match of the round. Mulgrave Reserve. Always good to be out here. The facilities, fantastic. Have come up over the last few seasons.
It's a super spot to call from as well. I wonder if we'll ever have a men's match of the round here. It'd be a very interesting proposition for sure, Ryan.
Oh, potentially. Well, I mean, we are seeing Mulgrave this afternoon for the Eastland match of the round out at 1:15 p.m. Facebook, YouTube, Radio Eastern 98.1 FM is Forrest goes forward here for Mooroolbark. Out the back. There's a chance for Sheehan. Doing very well there was Owen, who clears this out of defence again, but they're just so well set up behind the footy. Delaney out of bounds. We'll get another ball up. 17 minutes to play in this third term.
So not far away, obviously, from the senior game, and I believe you guys you probably made this a big talking point. You know, the Eastern Devils and Mount Evelyn coming up, two big sides. Obviously, the Rovers have been the one team to knock off the Devs, so it'll certainly be an interesting game, won't it?
It will. It definitely will. I think it's hard to tip against the Premier side as they clear it out of defence here. It's going to be turned over, almost taking a mark.
Madgwick.
And, well, actually, it was probably Reynolds there who probably had
more.
front position. And she'll come off. Oh, no, she's still staying on. I thought she was about to make her way to the bench, but she's been very important to their side. Tap down, Haberfield tries to break through a tackle. Kick forward from Haberfield, cut off by the captain in Beach. Has been one of the Devils' best players so far. Bouncing footy works out quite well for the Devils. Couldn't quite control it though. And doing very well there from Mooroolbark was Delaney. Forward inside 50 entries at halftime. It's 25-2.
The sun comes and goes.
An absolute dominance from the Mustangs. Here's another chance.
Here we go.
Towards Freegan, almost the mark, controlled it pretty nicely, coming in there. A teammate who puts her head over the footy in Haberfield. And we're going to get a ball up inside 50. 23-point leaders, Mooroolbark.
So 15 minutes and 18 seconds on the clock. Go up again. Get out to advantage again for Mooroolbark. Here's Beer, throws it onto the boot. It bounces. Devils can pick this one up. Hands off, almost turnover. Beer's lurking again. Can she get it back? Probably not, as the ball is wrapped up there in the contest in the pocket. Up we go. Owen sent it out, very much out, as it heads over the boundary line. Mustangs ball. And set up the formation really well and get those numbers inside 50, which exactly they've done. Sat almost perfectly for the intended target, but then it bounced off the chest. And 14 minutes and 14 seconds on the clock remaining in the third term. Mooroolbark 23, Eastern Devils 0.
Another big chance here from Mustangs to extend that lead. They've just locked that footy inside their forward half for the entire game, just about. Devils defence have held up pretty nicely, though, considering the siege that they've been under this afternoon or this morning here at Mulgrave Reserve. The ruck battle. Tap forward from McMaster. Owen, who's been impressive on return. Try and clear this one out. Fell through the hands of the Mooroolbark skipper. And that kick was smothered by Beer, whose pressure has been unreal. And we'll get another ball up just inside 50 here from Mooroolbark. 3-5-23.
And we've said it
Eastern
before.
Devils yet to score.
And we've said it before as well, concerning Emma Beer. She's played 13 games. This is their 14th. And she's had 12 best and she's had 12 best on, so I think she'd probably recall one again as Madgwick sends it forward. It's cut off by Freen. Gathers, sends it forward to open space. Owen looking to cut this one off. She does. Sends it back to the broadcast wing in the direction of Holyfields. Couldn't take the mark. Now here's Gange. First look at her. Freen once again. Ball hits the deck. Chance for Freen again. Regathers, and it's a free kick going the way of Mooroolbark.
Boundary just quickly.
Let's go down to the boundary with Kate.
Tackle count 8 each.
So fairly evenly matched in terms of tackles, but they're about to record another inside 51, would think, through Haberfield. But it's gone out. And Devs will bring this one in. Strickland, I think that might have been, or maybe Beach was in there as well. A lot of players at the fall of the ball. It's thrown out. Richards lurking to try and pick this one up. She turned tackler, then she picked it up. Kicked towards the touchline. It goes over right in front of the Mooroolbark bench as Karen Ralph barks the orders. 11:30 on the clock here in the third.
So again, they're just holding up nicely. Haven't conceded a goal this quarter, the Eastern Devils, under a lot of pressure. Forrest, a smart handball over the top of her head into a bit of space. Haberfield trying to run onto this one. Is able to get there first, gets her handball away, looking for Freegan. In there is Beach. Her pressure's been fantastic this morning. The kick on its way, looking for Spindler. And a free kick here paid for the Devils. So an opportunity. I haven't had too many inside 50s this morning. Got a bit of space on that far side, which they elect to use. And here they go. Here's a chance for him. Hancock traps the footy under a lot of pressure there from Delaney, who ends up with the footy. It's a 1-on-4 contest in favour of the Devils. McMaster comes in to help. Coyle gets a handball away, and they're escaping once again, looking for Beach, but Delaney, who's been very impressive herself, has held this up. And as the umpire say, ball up. 10.5 minutes to go in this third term. 3-5-23 Mooroolbark. Eastern Devils yet to score. Deakin University matched the round. The forward 50 entries heavily in favour of Mooroolbark this morning. They just haven't converted as much. And a chance for Dover.
Oh.
And yeah, that's got to be advantage when you think to.
Yeah, I agree. So it allows the Devils obviously to get back.
And just, yeah, that's probably a lucky one there for the Eastern Devils. Dovlar had all the space in the world in front of her. Actually, it's at the downfield. It is a downfield, so that's the captain who finds a target in the pocket in Forrest. Actually, in fact, it's McMaster who comes in from the side and takes the mark towards a danger spot. Khan's out the back and lays a big tackle and a ball up back inside 50 again with 9.5 minutes to play third term. 3-5-23, 0 for the Devils.
We go then in the pocket. Stephen, she's very good in the ruck, just needs to work on that hit out to advantage. The Devils somehow come out after all that, but Mooroolbark have the numbers around the contest. They'll be able to come back in again to relatively open spaces. Owen tries to pick this one off. She's shoved off it. Now the kick goes forward for Mooroolbark. Big contest of players forming, and there is a mark. And it's Khan. Who else was going to mark that in a massive contest? She's been on fire. And she's going to add her third to the tally.
Missed.
Maybe not. That's what you call a good old-fashioned moz there, right?
Yeah.
And the Mooroolbark have another behind. 6 behinds makes up a goal, if you think about it. 3-6-24. Eastern Devils zip.
Coyle out of defence, finds a target. And it's this second kick that they've struggled at. And again, falls into the hands of the Mustangs. And they'll look to go through the middle of the ground. Mark almost taken there by Gange. Ball hits the deck, and a chance the Devils go forward themselves. Kick off the ground backwards, conceding some ground. And Mooroolbark flock to the footy, but a quick kick away presents themselves with one of their best opportunities of the morning. Just a kick over the top, and they've got to play all by herself if they can get it out there. Rachel already snuck forward, and at the moment, if a quick clearance here would present their best opportunity, because they've got all the numbers ahead of the footy. But it's held up here by Mooroolbark. So with 7.5 minutes to play, a 24-point lead, and a free kick being paid, and a yellow. Is that a yellow card?
It is a yellow card pulled straight out. Let's go down to Kate.
A yellow card called out because she actually put a knee into the opposition ruck.
Oof.
So not what you want, another player coming off the ground who
So
you
Maddie
don't really have much of a bench.
Yeah, Maddie just pulled straight out. So
Sorry, who's come off?
I think that might be number 9 in Jacelyn Hopkins, who trudges off and says, I don't know how that possibly happened. So we've...
Boundary.
Yes, let's go down to...
When she went up, rather than just keeping a leg, a knee underneath her, like, you know, when they bounce up, she actually had a knee out, like as in almost like he was going to do a kick.
Thanks, Kate, as McDonald will take the free kick out of it. And obviously very worried about McDonald because she's been so dominant. Inside 50 through Delaney. It's a one-on-one with Khan. Khan controls it, keeps it in front of her, and ends up almost picking it up. Did very well. Mooroolbark towards the top of the square. Bouncing footy.
No.
Will go through for a goal. And another contender for a goal of the day. Didn't see who got that one on the boot. 4-6-30. Mooroolbark, the Eastern Devils, yet to score.
Khan was around that, so...
Well, it looked like McManus might be able to take the mark, but did well just to shepherd that through. I don't know if you saw that down at ground level, Kate, on who kicked that one.
I'm just grabbing a number now, number 21.
21 in Haberfield, who's been outstanding today, and that is a fantastic finish. And a great reward for effort, Jono. 4-6-30. Mooroolbark move to now, and arguably probably should have a few more goals on the board, so important one for them.
Absolutely, and it will be a long 25 minutes or so. Game time remaining for the Devs, but they come out of the centre of the ground. Probably the best centre clearance. Here might be a chance for the number 21, it looks like. Perhaps a new jumper.
What number, sorry?
Looks like 41.
Langton. Zara Langton.
There you go. So it's her first look at it. That was on the team sheet, I apologise. So Mooroolbark clear it as well as they have all day. You just went full on Homer Simpson there, didn't you? Comes directly in front of us. A lot of even numbers around the contest. Freegan is tackled, thrown to ground by Chalmers. And it'll be a ball up as a result.
I didn't mean to. I was just more saying it's just incredible work again. As
Saturday's
this goes
a good
forward,
time for a bit.
goes forward through Beach, and it's marked in defence by the Mooroolbark defender in Amato. Passes it right away as they go down the line. Bouncing footy out the back as a play. Can run onto this one. Controls it nicely. The handball smart to Haberfield. And she might end up with it again, Beer. She does.
Falcon.
Handballs it backwards to the skipper. Dovalar, who goes towards a one-on-one contest, push an opponent aside, and a free kick given here to the Devils. I thought almost it was just good body work, but potentially that was in the back. So the Devils survive
Boundary.
here as we go down to Kate on the boundary.
It was just good body work. It wasn't in the back at all.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That oh, well, they end up with the footy anyway with Forrest. Forrest looks to go centre, and a good mark in defence there for the Devils.
They come out. Richards came off hands. Dovalar tackled high. Surely umpire. Play on's the call. And it goes down boundary. Gee, Law took Jordan Dovalar's head off there almost. But the umpire said nothing doing, my ball. Rusty Cannon's right in front of that one. So Law once again. Haberfield getting a lot of support on the boundary line as well, as you might be able to hear. Balls hit the deck. Mooroolbark come out. Here's Haberfield again. Gets the hand pass off to Gaines. Did very well. Intercepted by that Devils player there in Stevens. She kicks straight down the line to open space. Who can get onto this one? It's a one-on-one contest.
Here we
It's
go,
off the
2-on-1.
ground by Langton. Richards inside 50. Mulgrave clear out again through defence. Here they go again down through the centre of the ground.
So there we go. Khan, she did well, took the mark and played on right away. Takes a bounce, can have a shot from here. Khan looking for goal number 3. Kick on its way, just a minor score. Gee, she's dangerous. 4-7-31. Devils yet to score. And how good was that? Just took the mark and worked her opponent under the footy that she was able to play on right away. Been an excitement machine. 4-7-31 to the Devils yet to score, and they'll have another chance.
Mooroolbark get this one back. And it's a Mulgrave punt for Khan, who takes the mark, or does she?
Yep.
She does. Went straight to ground after she secured that. And this time, might be a chance for what would be her third, I would say. She comes in.
To the left.
And the umpire says to the left again. To the left, to the left. It goes to the left. 4-8-32. Mooroolbark lead the Eastern Devils yet to score. 53 seconds on the clock here in the third.
Just holding on here again as they look to clear it out. Just been under tremendous amount of pressure all game. Their backline have not had a chance to really rest. And this kick might come back again. Doing very well is Delaney. He's been underrated today. And they've got a chance. Kick towards the top of the square. Here's Khan. Where is she? Doing well there, defence. As it's going to be held up with 25 seconds left. And unless probably there's a free kick paid or very quick goal from this clearance, that will be all she wrote for the third quarter. Tap forward from McDonald. Stevens gets a second tap. And almost a free kick could have been paid there. Shot on goal and punched through by Owen for a minor score. 4-9-33 to the Devils, no score. And there is your siren for three-quarter time. A fantastic performance so far from the Mooroolbark Football Club. 4-9-33 leading the Devils, no score here at Mulgrave Reserve for the Deakin University match of the round. We'll be back in a minute. Oh, we've got Kate on the boundary who has something for us.
Inside 50 marks, clearance is 1 zip, Devils. Inside 50s 5-0 Mooroolbark. Intercept marks 2-5 in Mooroolbark's favour. Tackles very even, 14 apiece that quarter. Inside 50s, 1-11, and free kicks, they're also even 2 apiece on that for that quarter. So very intense quarter on the tackle side of things.
Thanks, Kate Green, doing a fantastic job on the boundary, doing the stats as well. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll hear from the coaches and talk about this contest before we get stuck into the last quarter here. It's Mooroolbark 49-33, the Eastern Devils no score.
Welcome back to the Deakin University match of the round here at Mulgrave Reserve, the Devils Playground. 49-33, Mooroolbark lead the
Been
Devils.
the Mustangs playground today, mate.
Score. Well, that's true, but thanks for coming, Ryan. It's great to have you on the broadcast. Please give me games for the rest of the year, even.
Is that a silence for Jono there?
I think so. Well, it has been a tough day at the office, obviously, for the Devs. We saw that it was Jade Hancock who was lost early in the piece, and then there was Ellie Gathicole on the injury front. And I believe there was also another one there, Kate, who I might have missed. John McNamara was talking about someone who busted a finger. Was that right?
Yeah. I think that was Owen? No, not Owen. Yeah.
Can't lose her. First game up.
Well, that would be a big loss.
Injury.
She's been probably, arguably, their best player on the ground. I think she's been definitely in the top 3 or 4 Devils. I think you would say all 5 or 6 of their best that come out tomorrow will be from their back half, because their back half, to keep them to 4 goals, considering they've been under siege, the constant inside 50s, they've really held up very well under the extreme amount of pressure. So they're just hanging in there under that real.
We just need to survive the next
firepower.
20 minutes. It's like, I know I've been pushing with the cricket analogies today, even though I was going to go with the basketball ones, but they've just got to dig in for the last 20 minutes or so. And looking at the goal kickers briefly, Rana Khan had only 2 after a couple of chances as we head back to the boundary. Kate's with Big Mac once more.
Sorry, mate. How are you feeling?
Oh, no, look, you've just got to keep encouraging them. They're in there having a crack, so that's the main thing. So, look, they're contesting at the ball a lot better and really run away. I mean, clearly in front, but haven't really run away with the game from us. So.
Your back line has been incredibly impressive with just keeping Mooroolbark to what they have.
Yeah, look, they've stood up very well, and that just got mentioned as well, that they've done very, very well. So, anyway, we'll see what we'll...
Well, my dodgy go at stats, your tackles are 41 to their 50, so you've done really, really well with your back line. All the best for the last quarter.
Okay.
Thanks there to Kate as we go back to the action here. Mooroolbark earn possession again. McDonald, well, that might have been Forrest. Got it off to Reynolds. Reynolds up and under, standing underneath it is Owen for the Devils. Out at half back, I believe Kate might have another interview with us in just a moment, or potentially not just yet, as this kick out of defence is out of bounds on the full. Here she is now.
Sorry, I was just interrupting Dom writing in his book. Dom, challenging quarter that. They seem to be holding you out from getting any actual real goals on the scoreboard.
As I said, they dropped a spare person in defence. And so we've got to work through that. So the girls, the challenge this quarter is to see if they do that again. Let's work through that. Let's see if we can even up the numbers, and we'll probably play 6-on-6 in the back.
Okay, thank you, Dom. All the best.
So Coyle through that one in defence. Sorry, Ryan, as it's intercepted by Freen. Easily one of the best 6 today. High up and under. Mark isn't taken. Chance for the Devs to clear this one out through the number 79 in Carly Hancock. She's also an East Burwood player as well, so they do still have a couple of ex-East Burwood players out on the park at the moment. Kicks in the Richards direction. She holds onto it and then lets it go immediately with the kick inside the centre square, I should say. The mark is taken by Spider. Louise Spider Spindler has turned that one over. Mooroolbark have it from half back.
They look to play on right away. They kick towards us on the broadcast side. This could be cut off, and it is here. Well done by Madgwick. Inside 50 and standing underneath it. Well marked by Dyson, premiership player at the club. We'll clear this one out of defence towards us on the wing. Devils holding up okay here. The quick handball, and they link up nicely. Going inside 50. Bouncing footy, smart little tap over the top of the head from Khan. Got it to her teammate, and she ends up working her way forward. It's pushed off the footy. Pressure has been good from both sides, as we said all day, as we'll get a ball up deep in the Mooroolbark forward 50. They lead by 33 points. 17 minutes to play in this final term out at Mulgrave Reserve. A couple of scores around the grounds. Ferntree Gully lead Bayswater in another top of the table clash, 22-0. And Fair Park, 2 goals 10, 22 lead. Nuttawading 1-5-11 as the Devils link up out of defence. As Kate has said, they've put a number behind the ball for most of the game. Smart little tap handball out from McDonald, and standing underneath it is Owen. Again, another intercept mark. He's probably had quite a few of those today.
She's probably a handy replacement of sorts for...
I think she's been the Devils' best player.
For Gatha Cole. So we come to centre wing.
I think there's no doubt without her today, Mooroolbark will have at least a couple more goals on the board.
Law dragged to ground straight away. Another ball up results. 16 minutes to go here in the final term. Coming up, of course, if you're in the area, come down and watch the Eastern Devils up against Mount Evelyn. The Rovers, of course, the only team to beat the aforementioned side in recent years. As Reynolds goes inboard to no one in particular. Still found a target in Delaney. They're inside 50 again, Mooroolbark. If not for a few handy Devils defenders who managed to find a way out. Owen was crunched, was dispossessed. And Mooroolbark inside 50 for the time being. Ball's at ground level. Mustangs managed to get this one up. Lots of Devil defenders' numbers as Grant turned tackler. We've got another ball up.
Around the grounds at Tormore Reserve, 3/4 time. South Belgrave lead Bronia 6 goals, 8-44 to 3-1-19.
It's not bad.
That's a fair effort from Bronia against a top side in this division. As we get another ball up here at Mulgrave Reserve in forward half for Mustangs. 33-point leaders in this last term. McMaster won herself the footy, got the handball forward to Freegan, who finds some space and can run onto a goal here. Just missed to the right. They've had their chances. 4-10-34 to the Eastern Devils, no score. And probably a few gettable ones as well. They could be a little bit further up.
So from defence, Owen was opposite broadcast side. Stevens got it and then shoved it back to Owen, who's got a bit of work to do to try and retrieve this one. Mooroolbark have the numbers. Inside forward 50 still. Law tries to get a kick away. Can't quite. Turnover. Mooroolbark again. Have another chance. The umpire blows her whistle though.
Khan.
It would be a free kick then, I would imagine, to Rana Khan, who this time is probably a more favourable angle to shoot for goal, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, a little bit more. Probably a little bit further out than the last one. But well and truly within her range. She's a fantastic kick of the football.
Rana Khan has two. Very measured approach. She kicks. It's high. It's across the face. It's marked by Owen. Owen in defence. Gets it in the Madgwick direction. Dropped it. Went into touch. Right in front of the Devils bench. And the watchtower of sorts, which doesn't get much of a look in Mulgrave games. I'm sure it does. I know it doesn't really get used very much by the Devils, but Mulgrave and the team certainly use it a lot. And they'll be featured in the Eastland match of the round later on this afternoon against the Waverley Blues at Central Reserve, and it's certainly set to be a good one. Josh Ward leading the coverage there very soon. No one can quite work this one out. Forrest. Ball hits the deck. And underneath that all was Louise Spindler in her 14th season at the Eastern Devils. She recently came back as well. Play alongside some great players. It was McMaster who sent it in for Khan. She can storm in a goal, and she's kicked it off the side of the boots. Another behind for Mooroolbark, 4-11-35. Eastern Devils yet to score inside 12 minutes.
Again, it's been the work from the likes of McMaster to set those ones up. Haven't quite finished well in front of goal, but very dominant performance nonetheless. Here's Owen, who clear it out of defence, looking for the ruckman in Stevens. Out the back, a chance for Strickland to run onto this. Got McDonald to beat, and kicking it out of bounds will mean it'll be a Mooroolbark ball. In fact, it'll be a ball up just on the boundary line here. 4-11-35, Mooroolbark, Eastern Devils, no score. 11 minutes to play in this last term. McDonald over the top, the tap forward. Devils got some numbers. Law gets a kick forward, finds a target. The mark is taken by Strickland. They haven't had too many forward 50 entries. This one should be one coming up. We'll pass it off to Owen running past, who's got a great kick on her, and she does exactly that. Out the back, underneath it there, was pushed aside, was Beer. And we'll get a ball up inside 50 again. This time at the Devils' end, left side of your screen. Haven't scored. Potential here for their first of the day if they can work a clearance. We'll go down to the boundary to Kate Green, who has some news.
Number 6, Khan for Mooroolbark is off with the trainer.
No.
Thanks, Kate. Hopefully no issues there. Tap down. And we're going to get another stoppage here. Not sure what happened. Must have been a couple of minutes ago. I didn't actually see.
I just absolutely hate injuries. It doesn't matter who it's to.
Here's Dovler. The kick finds a target. That was a smart little kick there. Who finds Reynolds out at half back. Reynolds down the line. Looking for Haberfield. Cop one around the neck. Still ends up with the football. Handballs it off to a teammate and they go forward again. Bouncing ball over the top. Running onto this will be Delaney, who picks it up nicely. Got to play over the top. The kick into space. Doing very well. She might actually end up with the footy again, Delaney. Tapped it in front of her. Devils bring the pressure. They look to clear it out. Haberfield, juggling mark, plays on right away. Kick was smothered. Dangerous area here for the Devils to cover. And they manage just to hold on again. 4:11:35, Devils yet to score. 9 minutes to play in this final term of the Deakin University Match of the Round out here at Mulgrave Reserve.
Jacelyn Hopkins back on the ground. Coming out here. Mooroolbark, intercept again. Been doing so well, but now they move the ball is definitely a standard. In fact, are they due for another promotion? Say, for example, if they win the premiership again this year.
I would imagine so. Obviously,
I would definitely like to see how they'd go in Division 2.
I think they'd compete very well in Division 2.
So, ball gets
They've still got
thrown up.
players to come back in this side as well.
They do indeed. That's what happens when you're a standalone team. The kick there was from Grant. It was smothered. They're still on here. It goes for home, and there's another for the Mustangs. That's their 5th.
And they deserve it too, don't they, Jono? They've been pushing so hard and they've been forced to earn it with a lot of pressure in that forward half.
And boy, didn't she love that, Grant. 14 goals to her name now. And she was at East Ringwood for 5 seasons as well. Come down to Mooroolbark and blitz the competition. A fantastic goal. I reckon that's probably a goal of the day, I think, because she got that one back and
good question. There's been all 5 of their goals have been really good, actually, to be honest. Punch forward here from Mooroolbark again, and they'll look for another. Dovlar gets the ball on the boot just to a teammate who goes backwards to handball. Finds Haberfield, who's been outstanding. Looking for a teammate up forward in Vaughan. Try and keep this one in. Great pressure. Great tackle there from Grant, who just kicked the last goal. And another stoppage inside 50 with 7 minutes to play. 5:11:41. Mooroolbark. Eastern Devils have not scored in this game. Haberfield tapped down. Dovler. Beautiful clearance. Beautiful goal. 6:11:47 Mooroolbark. And that is outstanding.
Boundary.
Let's go down to boundary with Kate Green.
Just to check up on Khan, she just that tackle she hit on her just as she kicked in that play, just really heavy hit on her hips, so she's out for the rest of the game.
Thanks there, Kate.
She's done the work and probably gets the votes. I think the maximum amount of votes, wouldn't you say?
Who?
Khan.
No, not for me. I think McDonald.
Not from us, but in terms of the coaches, because often the case is that players get the votes who who dig in and don't necessarily have the most possessions. And
well, it's hard
like.
because they've had so many contributors. So
yeah,
whoever
it's hard. It really is.
It'd actually be quite difficult to fit everyone in your top three, which we're going to do at the end of the game, do our 3 votes. So have a think here as they go forward again. Forrest inside 50. Mark not taken, but there's been a free kick awarded, and it will go in favour of the Devils.
So it's Coyle to bring it in again. They do have a lot of good defenders. Just that a lot of their forwards and midfielders, unfortunately, are out due to injury. All I can think of is Kelsey Reid, who's had the odd challenge that she's had to fight. Dovala sent it back, and the Devils sent it back again. Marcus taken by Hopkins. Don't tell me. Oh my gosh.
That's the captain.
GB, she's just cramping on here, and which is good. Couldn't have another injury out here at Mulgrave Reserve.
Just lie down and stretch her out, like push back her towards, straighten the leg and push it back. I think it's more than a cramp.
Yeah, it looks definitely worse than a cramp.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. So she comes off, and more time is lost due to injury, unfortunately.
Well, it's been a horror run for injury.
It has been
injury perspective.
It has been absolutely terrible. As Hopkins gets it off to Owen, who puts on the afterburners, has probably run too far, but still gets the kick in the Stevens direction. Turnover again. Here's Beer, who sends a high up and under down to the half-forward line for Mooroolbark. Coyle intercepts it, heads down the ground, kicking it inside there is Forrest. The hot spot awaits. Here's another chance for Mooroolbark. The tackling pressure on Vaughan was great. And we've got another ball up. Or do we? It is holding the ball, in fact. The tackle was very good. The Devils then are going to move this one out.
They certainly will, but Haberfield's underneath it, who cuts this one off. Did fantastic. Turns around, faces the goal, has the shot, and it is a minor score to the left. 6-12-48, Mooroolbark. The Eastern Devils, no score, and certainly potential to have blown this out by an even bigger margin. Owen will play on. This has been the shining light for the Devils today, Jono.
It's great to have her back.
Have her back, and she's been probably their best player. I think she's been their best player today as this one comes out of bounds right in front of the Devils huddle.
I think in a game like this and the context in which we came into today, you know, the comments from Kez Ralph saying that, you know, the scoreboard isn't really indicative of the battle, and I think Gemma Owen would certainly feature in one's votes. Richards was wrapped up right in front of us. It's 3 minutes to go. Mooroolbark 6-12-48. Eastern Devils yet to score. And you might be able to see just in front of us, there's a nice photo opportunity taken as Sally Packham of the Eastern Devils senior side, wearing number 27, is playing her 100th game, and you might be able to see someone in there. It's her twin sister Lucy, who once played for the Eastern Devils, and I think from memory she's still playing in the Ammos. So there's a lot of support out there for the one known as Tupac, as the Eastern Devils set to do battle against Mount Evelyn at about 12:30. So there's still time to get down if you're in the area or a supporter of the Devils and Mount Evelyn clans. 2:16 on the clock. Perhaps won by Stevens again. She's just been fantastic in the ruck, it has to be said, for the Eastern Devils. Bit of volleyball, high contact on Forrest. Forrest goes forward. Defensive mark almost taken. But he hits the deck, lots of players on hands and knees. It's Mooroolbark going to win out again through the contest. There's a chance for Madgwick. She's brought to ground, and a free kick has been awarded to her at half back. 90 seconds to go, or just about, in the Deakin University match of the round.
Kick out of defence here. Almost mark taken. As they look to go forward themselves, the Devils. A chance for a late one potentially. Haven't hit the scoreboard today.
Oh,
as this one comes out of bounds, and we'll get a ball up right in front of us with a minute 12 to play here. 6-12-48, Mooroolbark Devils, no score. McDonald in the ruck. This time Stevens gets the tap down. Forrest almost caught high again, who's been pretty good herself. It's actually going to be quite difficult to fit everyone into the 1, 2, 3. Stevens and McDonald. McDonald did well. Running onto this one is Hopkins. Hopkins can send the Devils forward. That kick is going to be a Mustangs ball. It manages to stay in this time. Mooroolbark will clear it out. Bouncing footy. Stevens gets the handballs back.
Oh, how's her head again?
Play on and holding the ball. And Haberfield has been outstanding.
So Mooroolbark are going to finish with it inside 20 seconds. They might be able to move the ball quickly and get one last goal if they can.
It's kept in.
It is kept in. Dovalar sends it down. Gemma Owen might be able to put on the defensive effort. She does, gets the ball, and it might land in the hands of the Devils in the final moment. It does. 2, 1, siren will sound. Mooroolbark win. And what a fantastic win it was for the Mustangs. The final score, 6-12-48. The Devils, no goals, no behinds, no points. In the round 8, Deakin University match of the round. That was the final score, and the Mustangs come up trumps again. And Ryan, would you recap the goal kickers for us quickly?
Having a look at the goal kickers, well spread out. Khan kicked a couple, Grant kicked one, Dovalar kicked one, Perot kicked one as well. No goal kickers for the Devils. A fantastic performance from the Mooroolbark Football Club. Outstanding right from the start. It was a complete shutout. And they had to put a player behind the ball, and it probably sacrificed the game in certain circumstances. They just had no options up forward, really, because they had players behind the ball instead. And they just had to do that in the end, which was all due to a couple of injuries and the pressure that Mooroolbark put on them. They were fantastic from the middle. We're going to do our votes. We might actually have an interview with Karen Ralph here, who is with us now. Karen, a fantastic result for the side. Well pressured by the back six from the Devils, but plenty of scoring shots and a lot of opportunities and a lot to look forward to next week.
Yes, yeah, look, it was a really pleasing game. I think our forward line pressure was something that we were really pleased with today, and we had a couple of players really step up, like our wing, Kira, April in the forward line. I think April did everything today except maybe kick a goal. Chloe, Alice, who is a brand new player this year on the wings as well. So I think defensively across the whole ground, we were really pleased with that.
And one player that we sort of really talked about, in that, particularly in that first half, is Lily McDonald. was outstanding in the ruck, and not only does she win the hit outs, she then follows her work up at ground level. So a really strong performer again.
Yeah, exactly. She does look. If she doesn't get the tap, she'll get the ball on the ground, and then she's also got a really nice long kick as well. So often she'll kind of break maybe a zone or something that's over the top, because she can, like I said, she can just kick it a bit further than probably most of the girls. Maybe in this division, which is helpful.
So, I mean, you've got an absolutely fantastic list. I look at, Lily McDonald was just fantastic in the ruck. But in terms of a big win like today, what sort of things that you take from a big win like that where you move on to next week in terms of things to perhaps improve?
Look, our kicking inside 50, I think if we're able to do that a little bit better today, we'd probably turn around the, points to goals. We're a little bit impatient, I think, with some of our inside 50s. And I think we also still need to use our wings a bit more. So one of the things we really want to do, because we've got a pretty good run and carry team, is use the whole ground. And we tended to make the ground pretty small today. And that then makes it easier to defend. So I think if we can open up the ground a bit further, that would be something that we'd be working on this week.
Well, Karen, enjoy the win. Thanks very much for joining us today. As we can see, the 100-gamer Sally Packham run out, and just about does this today. Shall we go to votes?
Yes, we will do our votes. Jono, who have you got? 3, 2, 1. I think we're going to be... I think there's probably 9 or 10 players across the two sides that you could pick from this. A very even game.
And they probably all played in the premiership in the case of Mooroolbark. Yeah. Look, I'm going to say, to be honest, I really like the look of Lily McDonald. I mean, there are so many great players. Look, I'm going to say Rana Khan 3 votes because she set the foundation for the team, and it was a fantastic effort by her. I'm going to say Geordie Dovalard 2 votes, and I'll say 1 vote for Ellie Gathicole. I think just a consolation prize. Unfortunately, she dug in and fared second best, unfortunately, in terms of the injury front.
I was, shout out to Gemma Owen. I haven't got her in, but I thought she was by far the Devils' best player this afternoon. 1 vote to Jordan Dovalar, the captain. I thought she was really impressive. 2 to Ruby Haberfield, had a very strong 4-quarter performance. And Lily McDonald dropped off maybe a little bit later on in the game, but she set that game up from the start. A really big first half and was really important. As Kate Green, I don't know if you've got votes or stats for us.
Yes, I've got votes and stats. Very quiet dark horse that you guys are missing for Mooroolbark. McMaster, number 30.
Yes, good pick up.
Fantastic.
McDonald 3 points, McMaster 2 points, and Owen for the Devils. Just overall, final stats. Clearances, they were equal at 4. Inside 50s, inside 50 marks, 4 to 10 Mooroolbark way. Intercept marks, 9 to 18 Mooroolbark way. Tackles, 54 to 71 Mooroolbark way. Inside 50s, 8 to 45 Mooroolbark way. And finally, free kicks, 9 to 6 Devils way.
Fantastic.
So that 8 to 45 Mooroolbark way.
Wow. Yeah, it said a lot indeed. So that just about does us here for the Deakin University match of the round. Round 8 in Division 3, it was the Eastern Devils up against Mooroolbark, and Mooroolbark 48-point victors in the end. John Evett and Ryan Wong with you. Ryan, it was
just
fantastic
a moment, we just
to be joined by you, but we might go down just briefly
to the Eastern Devils coach.
So Macca, thanks for joining us. Commiserations, obviously, and I'll tell you what, the injury front has been quite tough for the Devs, hasn't it?
It certainly has this year. I don't know what it is with Mooroolbark, but we always seem to lose all our players against them. But I cannot fault our team in any way. They are so good at changing things up and just being part of a big group of a team, and I guess I'm a bit lost for words because I'm extremely proud of them again for making the changes that they have made.
Indeed, and so you should. And speaking of changes, obviously, it was great to have Gemma Owen back in the team this week, but also there is obviously the likes of the number 9 and Jacelyn Hopkins, just fantastic around the ground, and an experienced campaigner as well, but you also had a few other newbies as well, which was great to have too.
We sure did. Yeah, it was definitely great to have Gem back. We were very excited when I got told that she was back out there today. And Just Jay, this is her first game, and she's actually from America, so she comes from a lacrosse background. So lovely to have her slide into the team.
Wow, there you go.
Just on that defensive lineup, I thought the defence held up very well with the amount of pressure and under siege they were with the constant inside 50. So you must be pretty pleased with the way they fought that game out under the pressure they were under.
100%. I love the back line. They are a solid unit, and they just keep fighting the whole time, and they just get the ball and just get it out.
Absolutely. We'll keep fighting for the rest of the season. Kath McBride, thanks so much for joining us. All the best for the rest of the day.
Thanks very much, guys.
So Kath McBride there, a very experienced campaigner as a player and indeed a coach, joins us for the final minutes of this broadcast. Once again, this was the Deakin University match of the round, and it was Mooroolbark 48-point victors over the Eastern Devils. Again, Ryan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, John, and a big thanks to Kate Green down on the boundary, Megan Green and the camera work, who's ready for us to stop talking so she can get off to Central Reserve for the Eastland match of the round later.
Indeed, let's do that. Until next time, from the crew here, it's bye for now.